Caitlin Clark has voiced her confidence in the Indiana Fever, declaring her faith in the team's growth and trajectory. Since becoming a part of the organization, she has noticed substantial shifts in their mindset and strategy, which she predicts will pave the way for a prosperous tomorrow. Clark's passion showcases her dedication to the company and her thrill regarding the innovative path they are embarking on. She emphasized the noteworthy additions Indiana has made, such as experienced players like Dewanna, indicating these strategic steps will boost the team's ability to compete. She pointed out that these acquisitions serve as evidence of the organization's determination to establish a successful environment. Clark conveyed her belief in the franchise's capability to draw in top-notch talent and thrive in a competitive environment. She is convinced that the recent transformations in the organization signify a revitalized dedication to greatness and an aspiration to position Indiana as a dominant presence in the WNBA. This change in perspective is fundamental for the team's sustained triumph and will strike a chord with both players and supporters. Clark's view on the team's evolution goes beyond just the current players and also encompasses the larger plan for the organization. She envisions Indiana becoming an attractive option for players who want to leave their mark in the league. This positive outlook is crucial for fostering a cohesive team environment and drawing in upcoming talent. Indiana is getting ready for the upcoming season, and Clark's perspectives are motivating the organization. Her faith in the franchise's path and her determination to help it succeed are positive indicators for supporters. The team is ready to make big advancements in the WNBA, and Clark's involvement is sure to be a crucial factor in that process. Clark's enthusiastic perspective on Indiana illustrates her anticipation for the future success of the franchise. The team is dedicated to creating a strong roster and drawing in top players, allowing them to establish a strong presence in the league. Clark's positivity mirrors the overall optimism within the organization as they strive to reach their objectives. After playing just one season with the Indiana Fever in 2024, the team revealed on Monday that they have agreed to end their contract with former starting power forward Katie Lou Samuelson through a mutual buyout. Samuelson was chosen as the fourth overall pick by the Chicago Sky in the 2019 WNBA draft from UConn. During her 5-year career, she has played for various teams, including the Dallas Wings, Los Angeles Sparks, and Seattle Storm, as well as the Fever in 2024. Throughout her 5 years in the WNBA, Samuelson has maintained an average of 5.9 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 1.4 assists per game, while shooting at 39.8% from the field, 33.6% from beyond the arc, and 82.2% from the free throw line. When she played for the Fever for one season, Samuelson's averages were 4.3 points, 2.3 rebounds, and 1.4 assists per game, with shooting percentages of 34.9% from the field, 33% from three-point range, and a career-best 96% from the charity stripe in 37 games. According to the regulations of the league, Samuelson must stay on the waiver wire for 5 days and will officially become a free agent on February 16th. After Samuelson's buyout, the Fever will have approximately $117,000 in cap space and 2 available spots on the roster. Jaylen Brown's contract, currently a training camp agreement, is not factored into this calculation. Only if Brown secures a spot on the opening day roster will her contract of about $66,000 impact the team's cap space. The sum of money available is insufficient to recruit 2 more players before the season begins, as the minimum payment for players with under 2 years of experience is approximately $66,000. Stephanie White, the new head coach of the Indiana Fever, was a guest on the February 12th episode of Purdue University's Presidential Lecture Series. White made several important points during his speech, including a comparison of the work ethic of Caitlin Clark and Tamika Catchings. She likened Clark's work ethic to that of Catchings, who she considers one of the greatest players of all time. According to White, Catchings is unmatched in her work ethic and talent on the court. White clearly holds the opinion that both Catchings and Clark possess strong character. Later in the talk, the ex-Connecticut Sun coach emphasized her commitment to maintaining the culture of her current team. White emphasized the importance of addressing difficult issues directly and not avoiding tough conversations. He stressed the need for leaders to be open to feedback, both giving and receiving hard truths. Surrounding oneself with trustworthy individuals who can provide honest and transparent feedback is crucial. White highlighted the necessity of being a competitor, not necessarily to win at all costs, but to approach daily tasks with a competitive mindset. She expressed that leaving your shopping cart in the parking lot reflects poorly on you as a person, and she would not want to associate with someone like that. Observing a basketball player with negative body language and a lack of teamwork would also lead her to not want them on her team. The WNBA free agency period, following a record-breaking season, brought unexpected twists and excitement, surpassing what fans anticipated for the off-season. The start of free agency was marked by a significant trade involving three teams that shook up the league by transferring top players Kelsey Plum and Jewel Lloyd. This trade also created a milestone by being the first in WNBA history to include multiple first overall draft picks. However, it wasn't just the Seattle Storm, Las Vegas Aces, and Los Angeles Sparks that were creating havoc in free agency. The Connecticut Sun also made significant changes by parting ways with all five players who started last season. After experiencing significant growth over the past year, the league has set a new standard for potential within the WNBA. Teams are eager to embrace this momentum and are making changes to their paths accordingly. Despite this, not all teams will achieve their desired outcomes during this transformative period. A team that already boasts two former Rookie of the Year winners, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, has further enhanced its roster by adding two WNBA champions through free agency, solidifying its position as a contender. Stephanie White, the new head coach of the Fever, seems to be planning for a successful future for the team. She began by securing and extending the contract of All-Star guard Kelsey Mitchell. White's next move involves surrounding a youthful core with experienced veterans through the pursuit of unrestricted free agents. Soon after transferring from the Sun, White recruited Dewanna, a six-time WNBA All-Star and three-time Sixth Woman of the Year, on a one-year contract. Following that, Natasha Howard, a three-time WNBA champion and the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, as well as Sydney Colson, a two-time WNBA champion, joined the talented team on one-year deals as unrestricted free agents. These three players are the final additions to what is on track to become a remarkably fast and defensively strong lineup in Indiana. Unsuccessful individuals, Golden State Valkyries. Expectations for the Golden State team were elevated, yet they failed to materialize in actuality. On January 21st, teams were given permission to initiate discussions with players. Just 5 days later, the first agreement was leaked, triggering a flurry of deals among various teams, excluding the Valkyries. The newest team made moves on February 5 by adding three undrafted players, Janelle Salone, Kiara Linskins, and Chloe Bibby. Despite their valuable international experience, these acquisitions were not the major signings fans anticipated after the Golden State expansion draft. Head coach Natalie Nakasi expressed excitement about building a team from scratch. Tiffany Hayes is the key addition to this new squad, bringing a wealth of experience after being named the 2024 WNBA Sixth Woman of the Year. Hayes, a 35-year-old guard, had previously announced her retirement in December 2023 before returning in 2024 to play for the Aces. It is possible she will retire again soon, leaving the Valkyries in search of veteran leadership once more. Golden State's hopes of making a splash in free agency have been dashed because it is challenging to convince seasoned players to join a newly established team. The Mercury experienced a free agency period that was out of this world. They were able to acquire the top talents of Alyssa Thomas and Satu Sabali, and also maintained their first-round draft pick for the 2027 season. Thomas is the type of leader that can serve as the foundation for a team And the Mercury, following the departure of veteran player Brittany Griner, wanted to add another seasoned player to the roster for team morale. Sabali's ability to score is widely known. Equally impressive is how Phoenix managed to acquire her. She first hinted at leaving the Dallas Wings in early January during a press conference. Despite negotiations dragging on until February 2nd, a deal was finally reached with the help of three other teams. The Sun are now without their key player after free agency. None of the five players who were in the lineup for the final playoff game last season are still with the team. Thomas now plays for Phoenix, Bonner moved to Indiana, Harris joined Dallas along with Carrington, and Jones is now playing for Chicago. The Sun had a lot of unrestricted free agents to address, so it was anticipated that they would not be able to keep all of them. However, there may have been other reasons aside from this that influenced their choices. Following the Suns' initial playoff game last year, Thomas publicly criticized the team's training facilities, describing them as lacking in respect and suggesting that adjustments were needed. The Sun finds themselves in a rebuilding season, despite any objections, due to the numerous changes that have occurred. This marks a significant shift for a team that previously performed well in Game 5 of the WNBA semifinals.